Yo, what's up with y'all, man? I hope you're doing good. If you're new and you're a fan of the NBA, subscribe to this channel, so let's get straight into it.
It's like it's Minute Maid, hijack 4, renegade, 24, number 8, Kobe shit fade away, ballin' since 11th grade, still in school, let them hate.
So looking back at the 2017 NBA draft, it was a real quality one compared to the ones of the past few years. They were mostly hits with minor misses here and there, and a lot of lottery picks held up their own for the most part, and pretty much throughout the entire class from pick 1 to 60. So many gems were found all over the place, who are actually key pieces to their team's success today. It was a great draft class overall, but as you all know, no draft class is really perfect. It isn't all sunshine and rainbows at all times. In fact, I'd say about 2 years ago, only one of the first 4 picks are actually viewed as above average NBA players, and that was Jason Tatum. The rest, Markelle Fultz, Lonzo Ball, and Josh Jackson, they were seen as mistakes, and these teams who selected them 2 years ago at least would have redone their pick. But thankfully, through time now, at least only one of those first 4 picks were viewed as a massive mistake. So this class is aging pretty well now, thanks to Markelle Fultz and Zoe getting their act together, or else it would have been a pretty embarrassing look. Overall, this class is hella dope and is going to be one of my favorite draft classes of all time because there's so many prospects that came out of nowhere who took off out of nowhere. But then again, I'm sorry, I gotta kill the mood. There's some prospects who were expected to take off but didn't. And what we're about to do is talk about a bust from this class. Now me personally, I really don't like using the word bust. Why? Well, because it's hella harsh and it feels like it's the final verdict of a player's career, like as if there's no coming back from it, when in actuality there is. Unless you get out of the league stupid fast like that man Anthony Bennett. Other than that, they still have a chance to recover. But as of now, these said players, Josh Jackson, Malik Monk, Frank Ntilikina, and Zach Collins, all of them as for now are viewed as busts from the 2017 NBA draft. Not so fast though, hear me out just for a quick second. I think that there's one name left out of that equation, and this name tends to be almost hidden, and to be honest, it doesn't even feel like they even exist. But he's about to get this spotlight and really be questioned.
The Knicks passed on a really good one, and Dallas got the diamond in the rough. He should be a Knick. It's gonna make some headlines, but he should be a Knick. But Dallas is definitely, I know they're excited that he didn't go there. So he's an unbelievable talent, athleticism. He's very poised to be his age. Can shoot the ball, can penetrate. He's gonna only get better and better with the opportunity that he's given here to play. You know, so. Dallas got a good one.
The underdog coming out of the 2017 class and low-key Rookie of the Year favorite was the 6'2" PG out of North Carolina. Dennis was getting hella comparisons to guys like D Rose, Damian Lillard, and Baron Davis. Basically any small athletic guard who was hella quick and had a good amount of bounce. Honestly, Dennis looked like he was supposed to be one of the NBA's next great athletic guards, and it was thought for a second that he could be seen as more than just an athletic guard. Coming out of college, he put up pretty decent shooting numbers. Out of these 6 threes per game that he attempted in college, he knocked down about 35% of them, and he shot 72% from the line. That showed that one of his biggest concerns, which was his shot, definitely had hope. So with hearing all these collective things about Dennis, a lot of people believe that he would be taken higher in the draft. And if some remember specifically like me, he was expected to go to the Knicks, but was blessed enough to get passed by him to only land on the Knicks just a few years later. Tragic. But going into his rookie year, a lot favored him to put up decent numbers, but no serious expectations were thrown out there. His averages of 15 and 5 on bad shooting splits weren't the most exciting at all. Outside of his quick first step, ridiculous bounce, and cockback slams, there is not much to talk about Dennis Smith Jr. So at this point, Dennis's career after his rookie year was going downhill. He was already seen as expendable if the price was right. And that conversation that's been up in the air actually came into fruition once Kristaps Porzingis became available. You see, the average casual basketball fan would have thought that Luka and Dennis naturally would have been a good fit together, because you're pairing someone who's not much of an athlete with someone who is one of the best athletes in the league. It's way deeper than that though. Without the ball in Dennis's hand, he's not very useful. They contradicted each other's games way too much and weren't the perfect match. Instead of a PB&J sandwich, they were just a PB sandwich, a peanut butter sandwich. And who just sits down and eats a peanut butter sandwich alone? You watching right now. If you do that, go ahead and let me know so I can phone the authorities and have them at your door tomorrow morning. See, that alone should be a felony, and it just doesn't sit right with me. Okay, why do you guys always have to get me off topic? But back on track, in the midst of his time in Dallas, he's gone through a lot of minor injuries. And while he was at least statistically the best player he's ever been next to Luka, he got shipped to New York with the quickness once Porzingis became available, which was a beautiful move. And at that very moment, right then and there, is when when his career ended. Sorry Knicks fans, no offense, actually I'm lying, offense. But in my mind, I think DSJ had no choice to survive with the cards that he was dealt with. I literally don't know if any other young prospect in the NBA could make a decent name for himself while going through all of this BS and avoid this oh so popular bust label. This collectively is easily the worst thing that could happen to any young player's NBA career. Like bro, I promise you it don't get no worse than this. You telling me that someone can survive going through hella repetitive injuries after his first 2 years in the league and having a star rookie expose your true value inadvertently, leading you to get traded to out of all the places in the world, the New York Knicks. That is what cemented the death of his potential, because the word player development and New York Knicks don't really mesh well together at all. You're putting something sweet along with something sour. It's like putting pineapples on pizza. It's just something about that combo that just don't sit right with me. For those people who eat peanut butter sandwiches and put pineapples on their pizza, you are what's wrong with society. You are a menace to society. You're the issue, and y'all need to be locked up. Okay, no more bullying for the rest of the video, I promise. So what we're going to do now is read off of Dennis Smith Jr.'s stat sheet this past year. Now mind you, he's on the Knicks, he's been going through tough personal issues, he's been hurt constantly, the rotations are screwed, and also he's on the Knicks. In the 34 games that he's played this year on the court, he's put up 5 points and 3 assists per game. On 34% shooting from the field, 29% from the 3-point line, and 51% from the stripe.
He's reducing my IQ. This guy is reducing my IQ!
Swear to God, why you got that look on your face like that for? I'm not lying. In fact, I'll read it again just to make sure that I didn't mess up in this part of the video. 5 points, 3 assists, 34% shooting from the field, 29% from the 3-point line, and 51% from the charity stripe.
So, my eyes are correct!
Those numbers that I read off were incredibly disturbing, and not even Markelle Fultz at his worst was this bad. And at this point, I'm not even gonna lie, I think Frank Ntilikina is better than him. It feels like Dennis Smith Jr.'s career already has been blown into smithereens, and he didn't even get a chance to turn up yet. The highlights of his career consist of him stinking up the dunk contest and of course pulling off great in-game dunks. Honestly, what I'm saying really doesn't feel real right now, because I was a believer of DSJ and honestly thought that he was undervalued going into the draft. But thanks to his weaknesses being exposed, his true basketball IQ was worrisome. Sometimes he has sticky hands with the ball and cannot make what some would think simple reads on the court. He's also not much of a defender at all, and lately his shot on the court has been abysmal. His mid-range game and form these days looks so unstable and kind of forced, and as of today he's a negative on the court and doesn't provide enough value to outweigh his cons. And the situation that he's in New York doesn't help at all. As I said before in several videos from the past, good teams tend to suppress weaknesses of young players. Meanwhile, the worst of the worst teams in the league, like the New York Knicks in this instance, just amplify them and make you seem worse than you actually are. The Knicks have horrible spacing on their team and have garbage rotations, thus putting DSJ in a really awkward spot to try to improve. There's very little that any young player in the world could do if they were in his spot. Top 10% talent in the NBA to be able to go through the storm and stay persistent. And Dennis Smith Jr. just simply isn't cut like that. He isn't from that cloth. I'm sorry, I forget I have a lot of dudes from the suburbs who watch me. So basically what I'm saying is that Dennis Smith Jr. is not that dude, and he's not elite enough of a talent to go ahead and break through all those issues. He's more of a third or fourth option on a good team. Best case scenario, second option on a winning team. That's what I believe his peak was supposed to be like. I expected him to be a 21 point per game scorer at some point in his career who specialized in attacking the rim and was a capable passer. He's fallen ridiculously short of what I thought he could have been, and I sadly don't think he can recover from all these L's anytime too soon, at least as long as he's with the Knicks. But then again, I still believe the likelihood of him being great in this league is very low, because his value right now in the league has gone to complete hell. So he may be stuck with the Knicks for another entire year, and I don't even know how Dennis should approach the situation because of the huge spotlight that he has as a New York Knicks player.
Strong defender. And the chant of "We want Frank" is starting here at the Garden. That's tough for a young man here from the home crowd. He is obviously struggling. He has not been able to get in rhythm.
Everyone knows that he may have the yips and he tends to fold in big stages. His team right now is not doing him any favors whatsoever, and the same could be said about his piss poor performances. Dennis Smith Jr. may be going out sad already in the NBA unless a team is willing to take a swing at him and allow him to rebuild and revamp himself and his entire game, just like with what the Orlando Magic did with Markelle Fultz. He needs to be in a low profile city to rebuild himself. Man has way too too cool of a story and is way too athletic to at least not be a useful player in the NBA. Did y'all know that the dude was born with the freaking extra ligament in his left knee? That helps explain his unhuman-like ability to float, glide, slide in the air when he dunks. Dennis Smith Jr. is going to need all types of good luck flowing his way, and an actual season that he improves his game and also maintains a good level of confidence. Until he does that for the Knicks next year or for wherever he plays, we should all wish him the best and just hope that he isn't the biggest bust out of this draft class, because as of now, it's not looking too good. This is the end of the video though, man. I really do appreciate you for coming over here on my channel and seeing what I have to talk about today. You already know what I'm about to say. That is extremely dope of you. Now, before I go ahead and let you go, I just want you to do a couple of things. Of course, go ahead and like, share, subscribe to this video, and also, I'm sleeping. I really want to take a nap, so go ahead, do all that stuff. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, and get this Evolve channel right here to 700 subscribers if you want me to drop a basketball video. Deal? Deal. Besides everything I just said, I hope that you make your day great. I'll get right with you.
No way, remember back when I couldn't get a play, no home, I ain't have a place to stay, I got to work, made the shirt, free away, told my girl who'd ever thought.